What do you mean you found cameras? My hands shook as I held my phone, staring at the tiny black device my best friend Emily had just pulled from behind my curtains. My stomach turned. There's more, Emily said angrily. I found 3 so far. One in the kitchen, one by the front door, and now this one. They're hidden well. I only noticed them while cleaning the windows. My name is Anna, and I never imagined I'd find secret cameras in my own home. But I knew exactly who put them there. Margaret, my mother-in-law. She had been trying to control my life from the moment I married her son. David found another one, Emily called. It's pointing at your bedroom door. I felt sick. For cameras. For different angles of my private life. My hands moved to grab one, but Emily stopped me. Don't touch them yet, she warned. We need proof first. She was right. Emily wasn't just my best friend. She was a detective. This wasn't just creepy. It was illegal. Margaret had always been overbearing, but this was worse. I thought back to her last visit, when she insisted on helping while David was away. She had probably planted the cameras then. I can't believe she'd do this, I whispered. But deep down, I could. Margaret had been getting worse. She would show up uninvited, criticize my housekeeping, and spread lies about me to David and his family. David always made excuses for her. That's just how Mom is, he'd say. But this wasn't just being overprotective. This was an invasion of my life. Emily pulled out her phone, inspecting the cameras. These are high-tech, wireless, motion-activated. Someone set these up professionally. Just then, my phone buzzed. Margaret, just checking in, dear. How are you holding up alone? I worry about you. I nearly laughed. She wasn't worried. She was watching me. Then a terrifying thought hit me. Emily, I said slowly, if these cameras are all... Emily's eyes lit up. Then we can use them. Act normal. Don't let her know we found them. But let's give her something to watch. I took a deep breath. What do you have in mind? First, we gather evidence. Then we catch her spying. And after that, Emily smirked, we make sure she regrets it. I texted Margaret back. I'm fine, just having tea with a friend. Thanks for checking in. Seconds later, she replied. Margaret. Oh, you have company? Who? I smiled. She was trying to figure out who was in the house. I stepped into the living room, where I knew a camera was hidden, while Emily stayed out of sight. That night, after Emily left, I sat alone, staring at the camera. I wanted to rip them all down. But Emily was right. We needed proof, and Margaret needed to be caught. I called David. Hey, how's the trip? Boring. Mom called, said she's worried about you. Of course she did. I'm fine, I said. Actually, I was thinking about working on that family photo album she wanted. David hesitated. That's nice. She'll love that. I smiled, knowing Margaret was watching. Yes. I think it's time to go through everything. All the pictures. All the memories. After hanging up, I grabbed our wedding album and sat where the camera had a clear view. I slowly laid out photos. Margaret glaring at our engagement party. Her trying to wear white to my wedding. Her pushing my family away in group pictures. My phone buzzed. Margaret again. Margaret, don't stay up too late with those photos, dear. You look tired. I smiled directly at the hidden camera. Don't worry, I texted back. I'm just getting started. Margaret wanted to watch me? Fine. She was about to see the truth about herself. The next morning, I put our plan into action. Emily had set up a system to track when the cameras were being accessed. Now, I could see exactly when Margaret was watching. And she was watching a lot. As I made breakfast, I made sure to stand in view of the kitchen camera. I called my sister, speaking loud enough for the microphone to catch every word. You won't believe what I found, I said. Remember those strange things I told you about? Doors unlocking on their own? Objects moving? Well, I think someone's been in our house. I paused, watching the small red light on the camera flicker. Within minutes, my phone buzzed. Margaret, is everything all right? Do you need me to come over? I smirked. No thanks. I'm handling it. Throughout the day, I kept the act going. I made loud phone calls about home security systems. I searched signs of stalking on my laptop, making sure the camera had a clear view each time. Margaret's texts became more frantic. At noon, Emily arrived in her police uniform. This wasn't part of the original plan, but it was perfect. We sat in the kitchen, right in front of the camera. "So, you think someone has been watching you?" Emily asked, taking out a notepad. "Yes," I said. "Strange things have been happening for months. At first I thought I was imagining it, but now." I listed everything Margaret had done, the surprise visits, the rumors, and now the hidden cameras. Emily nodded, keeping her tone serious. "These are serious crimes: breaking and entering, stalking, invasion of privacy. We'll need to investigate." My phone buzzed again. Margaret was calling. This time, I ignored it. "The thing is," I continued, staring at the camera, "I think I know exactly who it is." The camera light flickered. She was watching. After Emily left, I walked through the house, pretending to search for more cameras. My phone rang nonstop. Margaret. Then David. I finally answered. "Anna, Mom's freaking out," David said. "She says you're accusing her of something." "Did she tell you she's been in our house?" I asked. "Or how she always seems to know exactly what we're doing?" Silence. "Then what are you saying?" "I'm saying," I said, looking into the camera, "that maybe your mother's concern isn't as innocent as you think." An hour later, Margaret's car screeched into the driveway. She stormed in, using her own key. "What do you think you're doing?" she snapped. "Calling the police? Turning David against me?" I stayed calm. "I don't know what you mean, Margaret. I was just reporting suspicious activity." "Why does that bother you?" She hesitated. "I'm worried about you. You're imagining things." "Am I?" I asked. "Am I imagining the cameras?" Her face went pale. "What cameras?" I pulled out my phone, showing her the live feeds. "These cameras. The ones that have been streaming to your phone for the past 3 weeks." Margaret opened her mouth, but no words came out. "Save it," I said. "The police already have the proof. Every log. Every pre-recording. The only question is what happens next." She sank onto the couch, her hand shaking. "I was just trying to protect him," she whispered. "No," I said firmly. "This stops now. Either you tell David everything, or I will." Right on cue, we heard David's car pull in. Margaret's face crumbled as she realized it was over. David looked between us, confusion etched on his face. "What's going on, Mom? Why are you crying?" Before Margaret could spin another lie, I held up my phone, showing him the live camera feeds. "Your mother installed hidden cameras throughout our house," I said quietly. "She's been watching us for weeks." The silence that followed was deafening. David stared at the screen, his expression shifting from confusion to disbelief to horror. "Mom," his voice cracked. "Tell me this isn't true." Margaret started sobbing, but these weren't her usual manipulative tears. "I was trying to protect you. She's not who you think she is." "No," David said, his voice hardening. "She's exactly who I think she is. You're the one who's not who I thought." He turned to me. "How long have you known?" "Emily found them yesterday," I replied. "We documented everything, when they were installed, every time they were accessed, every recording made." David walked to the nearest camera, reaching up to take it down. His hands were shaking. "Where else?" I pointed out each location, watching as he methodically removed them. Margaret remained on the couch, her protests growing weaker with each camera discovered. "Keys," David said suddenly, turning to his mother. "Give me your house keys. Now." "David, please," Margaret pleaded. "I did this for you." "No," he cut her off. "You did this for yourself. You did this because you can't stand not controlling every aspect of my life. Give me the keys." As Margaret fumbled in her purse, I saw something shift in David's eyes. Years of making excuses for his mother's behavior were crumbling in the face of undeniable evidence. "I want you to leave," he said quietly. "Don't call. Don't text. Don't come by. Not until you get professional help." Margaret stood up, clutching her purse. "You're choosing her over your own mother?" I'm choosing to have a healthy marriage without your interference, David replied. I'm choosing to set boundaries that should have been set years ago. After Margaret left, David and I sat in our living room, the dismantled cameras scattered on the coffee table. I'm so sorry, he whispered. All those times you said something felt off, that things had moved. I should have listened. I took his hand. You're listening now. That's what matters. The next few weeks brought significant changes. David started therapy to work through his complicated relationship with his mother. Margaret, faced with the possibility of legal charges, agreed to seek professional help as well. Emily helped us upgrade our home security, this time with cameras we controlled, monitoring only the exterior of the house. We changed our locks, set firm boundaries, and began the process of rebuilding trust. 3 months later, we received a letter from Margaret's therapist. She had been diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive personality disorder and was making progress in treatment. The letter included a handwritten note from Margaret, an apology, acknowledging her actions and their impact. Do you want to respond? David asked me after reading it. I thought carefully. Yes, I decided. But on our terms. We agreed to meet Margaret in a public place, with clear boundaries established. When she arrived at the cafe, she looked different, humbled, more self-aware. I've been learning about respect, she said quietly. About privacy and trust and letting go. I know I can't undo what I did, but I'm working to be better. It wasn't a perfect ending. Real life rarely has those. But it was a beginning. Margaret learned that her attempts to control us had nearly cost her everything. David learned to stand firm in protecting our marriage. And I learned that sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's holding up a mirror and letting someone see the truth about themselves. Our home became truly ours again, free from unwanted surveillance and uninvited intrusion. The spaces that had felt violated were reclaimed, filled now with genuine laughter and honest conversations. Last week, Margaret sent another letter. Inside was a certificate showing she had completed her therapy program, along with a simple note. Thank you for giving me the wake-up call I needed. Some lessons are hard to learn, but they're worth learning. David pinned the note to our fridge, not as a reminder of what happened, but as a symbol of how far we've all come. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most are the ones who need help themselves. The cameras meant to expose my flaws ended up revealing something much more important, the truth that set us all free. Now, when I walk through our house, I don't look for hidden cameras or question if I'm being watched. Instead, I see a home that's stronger for having weathered the storm, a marriage that stood firm in the face of interference, and a family that's learning, slowly but surely, what real love and trust look like.